Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Avinash, and in this video, I'm going to talk about um, a widely used option called ETL. Okay, so generally, what exactly this ETL stands for? So, ETL stands for extraction, transformation, and loading. So, in simple, we call it as the ETL process. Okay, so in recent times, we are using these ETL processes a lot, and AWS actually offers serverless services to perform this ETL. So again, there is no upfront cost, whatever the services we are using here. So these all services we can get under pay-as-you-go method. So to explain this ETL process, I'm following this flow. So I have a customer data. So, and that customer data I'm going to place in an S3 bucket with the help of an option called glue crawler. I'm going to fetch all that metadata or table information to Amazon Glue. Then, by creating an ETL job, I'm going to store that information into a target bucket. Then, I'm going to query all that information by using another service called Athena. Okay, so here in this process, I'm going to use a sample data. So Amazon S3 is for data storage purpose. I'm using this for data storage purpose. And Glue or Glue Studio, I'm going to use to perform actual ETL job. It's going to be the main engine of ETL. And this Amazon Athena, I'm using it as a query tool. Okay, um, you know, uh, we are going to perform this hands-on uh, in this AWS account. So for this, first we have to prepare something. So first we need to have a source bucket and target bucket, and also whenever you're using this Athena for the first time, it is going to it also needs an S3 bucket to store all the query results. Okay, and for that, first I'm going to create an S3 bucket. And also, this glue required some permissions to get the data from S3 bucket or to write the data to S3 bucket. And we even have a service role for glue also. So we need to create an IAM role. So treat these two things as a prerequisite. One is S3 bucket, second one is IAM role. So let's go to S3 platform, create a bucket. Click on create bucket. I'm going to call this as avinash.etl.source, where I'm going to place my CSV file. I'm going to create this in Mumbai region, create bucket, and let's create another bucket, avinash.etl.target is another bucket name, and I'm creating that bucket as well. Also, as I told you, we need a bucket for Athena. So, Athena store results, the query results, then create a bucket. Right, so the S3 part is completed. So if you're encrypting these buckets with any of the KMS key, whatever the role you're going to create now, make sure you give valid permission for that role as well. So now go to IAM screen, navigate to um, roles. So you can even create a custom role, and you can fine grain which S3 bucket access you want to provide, the put object, get object, and all. So instead of that, I'm going to create a role, and I'm going to give most of the services accesses. So we are going to use this role with um, glue, right? So I'm going to search for glue under use cases. So I'm going to select glue, then click on next. And here I am going to provide S3 full access, as well as I'm going to give glue service role also. This is mandatory. AWS glue service role is mandatory. Or if you want to, if you don't have much visibility on this, policies and all, you don't want to get into any error while you're performing this, you can simply give this administrator access as well. So that is purely your option. Then click on next. I'm going to give a role name ETL dot demo hyphen role, or let me give ETL hyphen demo hyphen role. Scroll down, create role. All right, an IAM role created. So we are going to use this role with our uh, whenever we are creating glue. So now the prerequisite part completed. So we created our S3 buckets and we have created an IAM role. So now we need to load our data, right? So I have used one website to get this data. So here is some data. Again, don't directly upload your file to this S3 bucket. Yes, I face this issue. So if you're directly placing your S3 bucket here into this S3, your data into directly S3 bucket, so data import will happen. Glue is going to get the metadata, right, all the columns and all. But what happened whenever you're querying from Amazon Athena, so it is not going to return any results. Even AWS also publish some articles. So Athena returning zero records. So if you observe, there is an article in AWS repost. You see this. So first, confirm that you are pointing to S3 bucket instead of a file that I'll show you. And second thing, so if you have any document, like, don't directly store within that bucket, don't directly store as a files. So instead of that, create inside the bucket, create a prefix like a table 1, you place your file there. Table 2 prefix or folder, table 2 there. So you have to follow. It took some time to figure this out for me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a folder and I'm going to call this folder as a customer, then create folder. Within this customer folder, I'm going to upload my this customer.csv file. Then click on upload. All right, so now this customer.csv file uploaded, and this file contains, like, a lot of information. There is a website where you can download same thing from internet. Okay, I'll just share that link in our description. Right, so now I have a bucket that contains some information CSV format file where I want to use this glue and Athena to query all this data. And also I want to transform this data. All right, so now let's go to glue, AWS glue. So now in this glue, as a first thing, you need to create a crawler. So basically, this crawler will crawl the data file we have in S3 bucket, and it using the data available in that S3, and with the help of that, we are going to create some schema. Okay, let me start from scratch. Right, the database also. Yes, before making this video, I have tested. Okay, so as the first thing, I'm going to crawler. Let's create a crawler now. Click on create crawler. Okay, so here you can give any name. Okay, I'm going to call this as uh, customer data, or you can give any name, then click on next. So is your data already mapped to glue table? So this is the first time we are creating a table or database. If you already have a data source, you can select this yes, and you can add the tables. But we don't have any database and no tables, so obviously we need to go with not yet option. Now click on add a data source. So the data source is S3 in our case. So if your data is in any of the RDS cluster or Redshift, or it's in DynamoDB, or any of the Iceberg table stored, Hoodie table stored in S3, or your data is in MongoDB, you can choose that. So you have to provide the connection information if it is a JDBC connection to some um, databases like a MySQL, MSSQL and all. So you can use a JDBC option. But as I told you, as per this diagram also, my data is in S3 bucket. It's in CSV format file. I'm going to select data source as a S3. And where is that S3 bucket? It's in this account. Then click on browse. And I'm going to search for ETL. And I'm going to search for the source, and I'm going to select the customer. Again, as I told you, don't select the CSV format file. Okay, you will be you might get that zero results error in Athena whenever querying this. So click on choose, and I'm going to crawl all subfolders if I have any. Then click on add an S3 data source. All right, so now click on next. And as I told you, we need an IAM role. So you click here, you search for ETL demo role, the one we created, then scroll down, click on next, and the target database. So this target database, okay, we have to create this target database here now. So I don't have any databases. So how we can verify whenever we go here, whenever we go to this databases screen, do I have any database to treat that as a target, to store that all information? Right. So no, right. So I'm going to create one database. I can also do that from here, create database. And what is the database name you want to give? So I'm going to call this as a customer, create database. Right, the database created. I'm not going to add any tables within the database. If you observe, if we go inside that database, is it showing any tables? No, it's not showing any tables. So now let's go and select the table database we created, and I'm going to run this crawler on demand basis whenever I want to. Then only I'm going to run. If you want to run it in hourly basis, daily basis, or you can even select like a cron format also. I'm going with on demand option. Then click on next. These all are the settings. Then click on create crawler. So now crawler created. The important thing is whenever you run this crawler, whatever the data, it will test connectivity to the source and whatever the file we have here, customer.csv. So that file is going to contain some fields, right? That all information it is going to show here. So for that, what we need to do? You have to run this crawler. So now currently state is ready. Let's give a refresh. The state is in running state. So it is going to prepare, and it is going to execute that, it is going to connect to that, it is going to get all the information. So for that process, it is going to take around a minute or two. Okay, so give a refresh. It's in running state. If it is not able to communicate, you have to verify this IAM role permission, whether that role is allowing us to or glue to access this S3 bucket or not. Okay, so that is status is completed, and also you can verify the state as a stopping. Before running this crawler, in our database, we don't have any tables. But now, if you give a refresh, you can see there is one table. Okay, the table name is customer and database also name customer. Click on that customer table. If you scroll down, it is going to show us all the column names we have. So these all are the column names I have here in this specific CSV format file. So now we completed till here. So we created a crawler, we got all the, we connected to source S3 bucket, and in Amazon Glue, we are able to view all that, whatever the database we created, we are able to view all the information of this CSV format file. Okay, so now if you want to transform the data from the source bucket to target bucket, you need to create a job. You need to create a job that is like, again, if you just want to query, you can use this Athena now also. Okay, if you just want to use this Athena now, what you can do, you can go to this table. Under tables, we have this customer table, right? So simply go to actions and click on view data. Whenever you click on this view data, it is saying you will be taken to Athena to preview data. Okay, then click on proceed. So now we are coming to this Athena, and also the query is executing here. And also, whenever you came here for the first time, as I told you, you have to confirm the settings. Okay, so you go to settings and click on manage. And here, whatever the bucket we created, okay, we created one bucket for Athena results, right? So um, we created this bucket. So let's choose a bucket. Maybe if I created any other bucket, I'll just verify from my S3 platform. I think I already um, have some buckets. Okay, and this is a bucket. Avinash dot Athena store results is a bucket name. Yeah, let me choose a bucket. Then click on choose. So if you don't perform this configuration, you cannot, this run option won't be enabled. It will be in disable state. Okay, so whenever we select this proceed option, automatically this Athena, Amazon Athena will open a query, will automatically create a query. Okay, so even if you're not good with SQL also, this will help. So now from this data source, there is a database called customer database. Within the database, we have all these options, and automatically it is giving an SQL query to view uh, first 10 customer information, or I want to view first 30 customer information. Then I want to run. Earlier, the results, it is showing only 10. Now I'm going to run, and it is completed, and it is showing all first 30 customers. So if you want to filter something like, you want to filter where gender is equal to female or male, you can add that here, and you can even run all your queries. So, okay, this is fine. We have created a database. We are able to query the information with the help of Athena, right? If you want to create an ETL job, okay, if you want to create an ETL job to perform like, data transfer and all, what you can do, you go to this ETL job, and here click on Visual ETL. Currently, I don't have any jobs, and click on Visual ETL. Okay, so under source, select Amazon S3. Okay, and I'm going to choose data catalog table, the one we have created some time back. I'm going to select the customer table. Within that, what database, the database is customer, and what table you want to use, customer is a table. So now source configuration is completed. Now, what action you want to do, or you can create a target as well. Click on target. Target also Amazon S3. As I told you, I created multiple buckets. I created one bucket for this Avinash.etl target. So I'm going to choose that target bucket, and what format you're looking for. I'm looking for JSON format. I don't want to perform any compression types. And target location, where do you want to store? Go here and just search for ETL, and I'm going to select my target S3 bucket. Okay, so then what action you want to perform? So here I'm going to write perform table mapping. So all we need to do is select this action, and within this action, we have to select uh, data. So, right, we have to select join, select fields. Yeah, I'm going to choose select fields. And what is a node parent? Node parent is my source. And for this target, parent is going to be the one we are creating. So now it is in proper flow. So this is source. So from source, whatever data we have in this customer table and all. So we are going to choose that fields like a customer ID and also gender, or you can even take only customer ID. Okay, so we are taking that customer ID, and then we are going to transform the data, or we are applying that mapping right here. So to the target bucket. So now, um, if you before saving this job, so go to job details, and here we have to define an IAM role. We already created one IAM role, right? We have to give that. So then you can save the job. Okay, we have to give a name also for this job. So customer hyphen job is the name I'm giving. Okay, so one thing you observe before running this job, I don't have any files or data inside this target bucket. Now I'm going to save this job. So now job is saved, and I'm going to run this job. Click on run, and you can go to runs here, and you can observe the run status. So currently it is in running state, and once this run completed, okay, so we are going to get the data to the target bucket as well. So we are using this Glue Studio to get data from source bucket to target bucket. We can transform the file types, or we can change the file type, or we can change the format. Okay, so here in this example, I'm just using like a very simple CSV file. Okay, so but if you have large set of data, so there are some organizations like Tesco and Netflix, they are using such type of mechanisms, and they got benefit. So with this ETL process, so they did some analysis, and Tesco placed their in Tesco, right? They placed beers next to the diapers. Okay, because of that, their sales also increased. So, like we can perform a lot of queries on a huge set of data, and we can take decisions on our business. Okay, what happened to this run? It is succeeded. So as this succeeded, if we go to this target bucket, whenever we have given a refresh, you see here there is a file created. Okay, so the data, the ETL job is picking data from our source bucket, and it is transforming, and it is storing all the data to target bucket. And with the help of this Athena, so we are querying all the data. Okay, I hope this gave an idea on ETL process or ETL services we generally use in our AWS environment. And if you are looking for so the graph, or the visualization for this queries and all, we can use another service called AWS Quick Sites. So yeah, that is all about this ETL for this demo. So that's it for this video. So please spare some time and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos on such type of services. And thanks for taking some time. See you again in next video. Thank you.